I want to change my stock exhaust, this one, and I don't know if I should. Couple of reasons. I'm going to tell you why, and maybe I found a solution. So let me tell you my story. So anyway, let me change the angle. I've just dropped my wife. I need to go back to work. That should do. My camera died on me. So anyway, I was saying that I want to change my stock exhaust, and there's a couple of thoughts in my head that I want to share with you guys and probably get your opinion. Okay, firstly, why do I want to change my exhaust? You see, I have added the fuel X on the bike, and that is, of course, giving better fuel to the bike. I have done a small airbox mod, which is not finalized yet, but yes, there is a mod that is done, which is why you can hear the change of the sound of the bike. So that is of course giving more air to the bike now, to the engine. So there's more air, there's more fuel, which I'm hoping is better combustion. But the third part of the equation, which is the exhaust, which basically lets out all that has been burned in a more freer manner, that is what is pending, and I've been wanting to do that. See, I'm not going for a loud exhaust. I don't want a loud exhaust, but I want something that's a little more freer while the gases are exiting the combustion chamber. Okay, lady, if you give me a signal, I would know that you're taking that turn and you're taking it pretty wide. But anyway, so yeah, those are the thoughts in my head as to why I want it. And now let me tell you the problem and why I have my doubts on whether I should be getting it or not. So all of you have probably heard about the cops in Kerala and how they are strict with the engine or car modification and bike modification, and of course that includes the exhaust. But you guys are not aware of the cops in Shillong, Meghalaya. So I know two of my friends who were caught by cops, loud exhaust. I believe both of them were Bullets or Royal Enfields Classics. So it's not just that they are fined or they are put on a penalty for the loud exhaust, but what essentially happens here is that you are asked to park your bike, take that stock exhaust to where your bike has been parked. Sometimes it is the police station, that's where they take the bike, and then you need to take a mechanic to the police station, change your exhaust while you're in the police station, and it's only after that that you can take your bike back home. So if you're ever caught here, it's not just the fine that you'll be paying, but also consider that your exhaust will be seized by the cops. So if I'm not mistaken, the fine here is around 10,000 rupees INR. And assuming you get a good exhaust, it would range anywhere between 10 to 15 at the very least in India. And the other thing is that, nobody talks about. I believe in the Indian law, you can have a modified exhaust as long as you're not exceeding, I think it is 80 decibels. But nobody's going to check that here. Nobody's going to, come with the decibel meter and check what, noise levels your exhaust is making. So the moment they see an aftermarket exhaust, that's it, you're dead. So it's turning out to be an expensive affair if you are changing your exhaust. Shelling out anywhere between a minimum of 10 to 15,000 or more, actually a lot more. The other problem I have is so right now this is my only bike that I have and I'm using. And I use this bike to commute. I use this bike for not groceries, but going to the market, going to other places in and around town. And also sometimes if I can, I would actually want to tour a little bit on this bike. So I can't afford to not have the bike for a certain period of time. And then it's keeping aside maybe another 20,000, 30,000 just for your exhaust. I don't feel it's worth it. Yeah. So I don't know what to do at this point. I mean, I can already enjoy the sound of the bike with just the slight mod of the airbox, which has increased the induction sound of air being sucked into the engine. So yeah, I can only wonder how much better it'll be, but if not a loud, at least a slightly better exhaust. So I need to figure out what is to be done. I can't. Come on, dude, your indicators are the same color as I don't know what the light is that supposed to be. Nobody's going to catch them for that. So what's my solution? What is it that I want to do? Right off the bat, all the aftermarket exhausts that exist in, that I could probably get, let's say Moto Wings, Quick Shift Racing, a lot of the custom exhaust that comes in, even the Norifumis, they're out of question. Okay, I forgot to mention the other thing is the X-Pulse, the entire exhaust system is one piece. It's not divided into multiple sections. Like for example, there could be a bend pipe, a mid pipe, and then the end can. So it's not like that. It's a single unit. I believe in my Duke 200, also in the ADV 390, it was divided into multiple sections. And what could have been done in those cases is, I could get a mid pipe and get rid of the CATCON, the catalytic converter, or I could get a modified header, but not in this particular bike. So that has very limited options. I mean, I can't just get rid of the catcon and reduce some weight and interference of the exhaust gases going out. So I can't do that, which means I do have to get something that's a complete system. So what has been toying with my head, or the idea that I have, is basically I've seen a few friends. So I had the Impulse before this, and I have a few friends who have modified the stock Impulse exhaust to a slightly more freer flowing exhaust. They do not make it loud. It's not very loud, but just sweet enough to the ears. And so this is in my head. It's all playing in my head right now. It may or may not be true, so we'll have to figure it out. There are a couple of versions of the X-Pulse. I believe there was a carbureted version. The 2019 version had it was a BS4, Bharat Stage 4 emissions norms exhaust, which basically had the same exhaust as the carbureted version, but it had an O2 sensor. So I am thinking that might be an option for me for the time being, where I probably try to find from the Hero's service center the stock exhaust of the 2019 model. So that had the bent pipe, which I'll show you, that runs from the middle and not from the bottom of the engine. So that is one option that I'm thinking. Get that exhaust first. It's not going to be an expensive affair. Hopefully, I mean, it's a stock Hero exhaust, so it should not be that expensive. I'm guessing it should be around 6-8, at the most 10,000. It's going to look, it is a stock exhaust, so it should be fine that way. And once I get that, maybe I look into modifying that a little bit. I'm not sure. I'll have to first see whether that is a feasible idea or not. It should be. It should ideally be, and that should ideally reduce the weight of the. I mean, you're getting rid of the entire catalytic converter with that exhaust, so that should be fine. Hopefully, that is. Yeah, so that is pretty much my plan for now. If I ever get another two-wheeler that I could tour on, because my biggest worry is, like, okay, even if I get around the cops in Shillong and avoid them and not get fined in Shillong, I still want to tour at some point. And the thing about it in the Northeast or any other state in India is that cops are more than happy to slap you a fine if they see a vehicle that's from another state. So if you're touring on a vehicle that is not meeting, let's say, the Indian government norms, they are more than willing to make some money out of you. So it's best to have a stock vehicle, and yeah, if I do get a second bike, that is, I would probably mod the exhaust first thing. So yeah, let me know what exhaust you're running on your X-Pulse. I know a lot of people are watching my X-Pulse videos off late, so are you happy with your stock exhaust? Are you running a different exhaust? Do you have plans to run another exhaust? If so, what are your reasons? I mean, I know abroad, or at least other countries, as long as you run, say, within the noise limits, you can run any exhaust that you want. And that is not something that happens in India. We just have a blanket rule. So anyway, that's it guys. I have reached my workplace and I need to get to work. Take care. Let me know your thoughts and subscribe to the channel if you find the content interesting at all. Bye bye.